Hello, everyone, and welcome to Teaching in Room 9, the Regions.
Shapes are everywhere we look. But
Good job. Now, go ahead and touch your throat right here and see how they feel.
And say to ourselves to be positive.
Lemurs are found on the island of Madagascar.
For one, and the numbers get bigger as we go across to the right.
Reset, that means taking a deep breath. It may mean counting to 10.
Today we're going to start with a freestyle stroke. So I'm going to put my arms out, and I'm going to...
All righty, are you ready to learn? Let's go! Yes, 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 yes. Welcome back to Teaching in Room 9, the region's largest classroom. I am Dr. Sanders, and in our new classroom, you can play tic-tac-toe, but also we can go anywhere and be anything while engaging and learning about the community around us. But remember what I always say, it doesn't matter if you're 2 or 102, you will have some fun. F-U-N, fun. You will have some fun while learning. I work at Adams Elementary in the St. Louis Public Schools, and let's get our day started. Let me take off my hat. Beautiful hat, I might say. And we're gonna get started by giving some shout outs to some of my friends. My first friend today I have a shout out for is Mariah. Hey Mariah, how are you doing today? Let's spell Mariah's name. Capital M-A-R-I-Y-A-H. Hi Mariah. My next name is Kayla. Hey Miss Kayla, how are you doing today? Let's spell Kayla's name. Capital K-A-Y-L-A. Hi Kayla. My next name is Lennox. Hi, Miss Lennox. How are you doing today? Are you taking care of your sister? Well, I hope so. Or is she taking care of you? Oh, let's spell Lennox's name. Capital L-E-N-N-O-X. Hi, Lennox. And my last name for today is Miss Kensington. Hi, Miss Kensington. Are you taking care of your sister Lennox? Or is she taking care of you? I don't know. Let's spell Miss Kensington. Capital K-E-N-S-I-N-G-T-O-N. Hi, Kensington. All righty, are you all ready? Let's get this day of learning started.
This is a test. For the next 60 seconds, this station will conduct a test. This is only a test.
Just like at home, there will be times that you want to share your ideas and ask questions. But remember, yelling and waving won't do the trick with your teacher. Instead, raise your hand and sit quietly. That's the best way to get your teacher to call on you, polite and patient. Let's review today's lesson. Remember, when you have an idea or a question, raise your hand and sit quietly. Being polite gets you noticed in your class. So let's learn together and have fun while being respectful in our classroom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
hey everyone, you know what time it is? Teaching in Room 9. I'm Miss Williams. I teach here at Confluence Academy L North 2nd grade, a little bit bigger kids. Today, we're going to learn all about measurement. Do you know what it means to measure something? Measuring something, when you usually do it, you use things like this. You might know what this is. This is called a ruler. We use rulers to measure things that are not that big, but we use things like this to measure things that are a little bit bigger. This is called a meter stick. But we're not going to use those things today. Those things are boring. We're going to use different types of measurement tools today. You can use anything around to measure objects. You can measure how small something is. You can measure how big something is. You can measure how fat something is, how tall something is. Anything at all in your house you can use to measure. Right now, we're going to use our snap cubes to measure different things. I know you know these snap cubes. They come apart and together, apart and together. Let's look around and think about what we want to use to measure with these snap cubes. I know you know what these are. I bet you love drawing around the house with these. Make sure you don't draw on that wall though. Let's measure this crayon with these snap cubes. Are you ready? But before we start measuring, can you guess how many snap cubes might be how long this crayon is? What do we think? How many snap cubes for this crayon? Let's think. Did you get a good guess in? Let's find out if your guess is right. We're going to measure it. We start at the bottom of the tool to the top of it. Let's count together. Are you ready? 1 snap cube, 2 snap cubes, 3 snap cubes, 4 snap cubes. I'd say this crayon is about 4 snap cubes long. Wow, that was really good. Let's measure something else with these snap cubes. How about this glue stick? Did you make a lot of arts and crafts at home with this glue? Gluing it together, taping things together? I bet you did. Can you guys give me an estimate about how long this glue stick is? How many snap cubes do you think? Got your guesses in? Okay, let's find out. Ready? We put it right next to each other, end to end, beginning to beginning. Let's count. 1 snap cube, 2 snap cubes, 3 snap cubes, 4 snap cubes. It's about 5 snap cubes long. You see, it's not exactly 5 snap cubes, but it's super close. So we're going to say about 5 snap cubes long for this glue stick. Did you guess that? If you did, good job. Ooh, let's try something a little bigger this time. I bet you know what this is. What do you do with this? Yes, you write out all your thoughts with this. You can write a letter to your mom, dad. You can write a letter to your dog if you wanted to. Let's measure this pencil. Can you guys guess how long this pencil is in snap cubes? Okay, I like those guesses. Let's find out. Here we go. End to end, beginning to beginning. Ooh, let's count them. Here we go. 1 snap cube, 2 snap cubes, 3 snap cubes, 4 snap cubes, 5 snap cubes. Whew, this is long. 6 snap cubes, 7 snap cubes, 8 snap cubes, 9 snap cubes, and all the way to the end of the pencil, 10 snap cubes long. The pencil is 10 snap cubes long. Wow, that was a lot of snap cubes. Ooh, but what if we want to measure something a little bit bigger? I think we can measure the width of this desk. I said width. Ooh, that's a big word. The width would be how wide this desk is. Take a look at how wide this desk is. Can you take a guess at how wide this desk is? How many snap cubes would that be? What do you think? Remember, make a good guess. Because remember, the pencil was 10 snap cubes, and that's pretty small compared to the desk. What's your guess? I'm gonna guess 20 snap cubes. What do you think? Let's find out. Let's scoot these over and measure the width of this desk. So we're gonna go from this side to the very end, all the way as much as we can, and let's count how many we have. You guys ready? We're gonna count a little faster this time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and last but not least, 32. Whoa, that was a mouthful. The width of this desk is 32 snap cubes long. Oh, that took a long time, but you guys did it. Was your guess kind of close? My guess was a little close, but not all the way, and that's okay. What if I wanted to measure something a little bit bigger? I don't want to count all those snap cubes every single time. what I could use something a little bigger each time. Oopsie, I got it. Instead of the snap cubes, which are super tiny and got to keep counting, let's try using these popsicle sticks instead. What do you think? Can we measure something with a popsicle sticks? Ooh, I see something we can measure. How about shapes? Let's start with some squares. Now we're gonna measure in popsicle sticks. Are you guys ready? Let's start with this teeny tiny little green square right here. How many popsicle sticks long do you think this green square could be? Okay, got your guesses in? Let's find out. Whoop. End to end, beginning to beginning. Oh man, the popsicle stick is so big. So we'd say this square is about 1 popsicle stick long. Let's try a bigger shape. How about this square? How big do you think this square is in popsicle sticks? Okay, let's find out. 1 popsicle stick? Oh man, we can't fit another popsicle stick on there, can we? So we'd say it's still about 1 popsicle stick long, but just a little bit more than 1. How about the big square? Let's find out. 1 popsicle stick, 2 popsicle sticks, about 3 popsicle sticks. But you know what, guys? Those are too small. Let's go bigger. What if we wanted to measure this crate? Whoa, that's gigantic. Let's measure it. Here we go. 1 popsicle stick, 2 popsicle sticks. Oh, that's about it. About 2 popsicle sticks. But I think we can go bigger than that, guys. I want to use this crate because it's huge to measure me. Can you guys guess how tall I am with these crates? I'm going to start at the bottom. Get those guesses in. Okay, you ready? I got 1. 1 crate bit tall. Let's keep counting till it gets all the way to the end of me. 2 crates tall. 3 crates tall. Whoa. 4 crates tall. 5 crates tall. Oh my goodness, it's almost there. And about 6 crates. Miss Williams is about 6 crates tall. Whoa. How tall are you guys in crates? We'll find out next time. You guys did amazing. We can use anything we want to measure different objects. Keep trying those at home, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Welcome back to our classroom. Yes, that's right. Our wildlife expert, Mr. Bare Hands Baran, has joined us again. And I wonder what he has for us today.
Well, today we have an Asian forest scorpion.
Asian forest scorpion.
Yes, it's a very large scorpion.
It doesn't look very large in your hand.
Well, comparatively, in St. Louis and the Missouri area, our scorpions are only about this big.
Okay.
Yeah. So this guy, though, he is a forest floor hunter.
So not in the trees, not at the top, not in the canopy level,
Nope.
on the floor.
On the floor. And he loves to search around and find insects, especially loves roaches.
Oh. Amazing, amazing. So you find them, what do you find them again?
So you'll find them any of the Asian countries that have thick forest and rainforests. They love to get up underneath the leaf litter, you know, all the leaves that fall down out of the rainforest trees, and they'll hunt underneath there, specifically looking for different types of insects.
Now I see the scorpion, and I see he's moving around. What is that little swirly thing at the top of at the back of him, at the back of his tail?
Well, this part right here is where his stinger is located. You see that really sharp point right there?
Oh, okay.
And then that bulge right there is where the venom for the stinger is. Now, these particular species, they're very docile. As a matter of fact, any of the scorpions that have very, very large pincers, they typically have very weak venom. As a matter of fact, if he were to sting me, which I must say he never has, it would feel like a honeybee perhaps.
So docile means he's just real cool, right?
Yeah, he's just chilled. He's just really cool. He's not too upset about anything.
All right, and how many legs does he have?
Well, these guys have 8 legs total, 2 pinchers, and 1 stinger.
Oh, you think I can hold?
Oh,
scorpion?
absolutely. Yeah, so this guy is very, very easy to hold. As a matter of fact, we'll just get him to crawl over to your hand. There you go. Now, you're not allergic to bee stings, are you?
No, not at all.
Oh, good. Some people are allergic to bee stings, and so if you're allergic to bee stings, you might be allergic to scorpions.
Well, I'm glad I'm not allergic because I wouldn't be holding them right now.
Yeah, now in the St. Louis area, Missouri area, we have a scorpion that's called the striped bark scorpion. It hurts. It stings a lot. So kids, if you see a scorpion, don't handle it like this because it's not friendly.
That's why we have our wildlife expert handling them and showing me how to handle.
Yeah, you're doing a great job too.
Well, thank you, thank you.
So they have little hooks on the end of each one of their legs, and so he can actually hang upside down and not fall off your arm.
Okay, and I can feel them a little. They don't hurt, but I can actually feel them.
Yeah, he's just kind of hooking in a little bit there. Now, because they have the very large pincers and the very weak venom, they capture their prey by grabbing them.
Okay,
And they don't sting very often.
All right, all right. Well, we only see scorpions in movies. I'm glad I got to handle one today.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the type of scorpion that you would see in movies because they're very easy to work with.
All right.
And actually, if you wanted to keep one as a pet, they make pretty good pets.
I like them because you can actually hold them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be kissing on him.
Oh, no, I don't think I would either.
But he does like to be rubbed right here like this.
Just like that?
Go ahead.
Now, boys and girls, do you want to kiss the scorpion?
No.
No, but let's thank Mr. Barehands for being in our classroom today. I'll see you in a bit.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Welcome back, learners, to Teaching in Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name is Julia. I'm a first grade teacher at the Soulard School, and here for Teaching in Room 9, my lessons focus on letters and sounds. Today, we're going to be focusing our learning all on rhyming words and listening for the rhymes and picking those out, and then seeing if two rhyming pairs, if we can decide if they have the same rhyme. But we're going to go ahead and start with what we already know about letters and sounds. Letters spell sounds and come together to make words. Words are made up of letters and sounds. They blend together to make a word. Words have meaning and they then come together to form sentences that we can read or write. Nice job, friends. Now, focusing on rhyming words. Rhyming words have the same vowel sound and the same sounds that come after it. Let's go ahead and sing a song together to help practice that. Rhyming words are words that have the same sounds. They have to end in the same way. Rhyming words have the same vowel sounds and the same sounds at the very end. Nice job, friends. We're going to practice picking out rhyming words by singing a familiar song that you maybe have heard already before. Show me a me too if you've ever heard the song Down by the Bay. Yeah, I'm seeing some friends showing me too, or no, that's okay. Try to see if you can sing along with me. We're really listening for those rhyming word pairs and that rhyme in those rhyming pairs. Okay, see if you can sing along with me. Down by the bay where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, have you ever seen a goose hugging a moose? Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow. Back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, have you ever seen a whale with a polka dot tail? Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow. Back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, have you ever seen a fly wearing a tie? Down by the bay. Have you ever seen a whale with a polka dot tail? Down by the bay. Have you ever seen llamas eating their pajamas? Down by the bay. Nice job, friends. Show me a me too if you like that song too. Yeah, there's a lot of good examples of rhyming words. Go ahead and shout out for me nice and loud some of the rhyming words you heard in that song. Yeah, I'm hearing some really good ones. I'm hearing, even in the beginning part of the song, grow and go. Those are rhyming pairs. The end of the word sounds the same. So in grow and go, the rhyme would be O. Great job. What are some other pairs you heard? Yeah, I'm hearing goose hugging a moose. Yeah, those are good ones. Oos would be the rhyme in those words. They sound the same at the end. What other ones did you hear? Yeah, whale with a polka dot tail. Whale and tail would be rhyming words. And the part of the word that sounds the same? Ale. Great job. What are some other ones you heard? Yeah, I remember that one too. Fly and tie, and the rhyme would be I. It's the part of the word that sounds the same at the end. What other ones did you hear? Any other ones I'm forgetting? Yeah, I heard llamas and pajamas, and the rhyme in those would be amas. Great job. It's a part of the word that sounds the same. Vowel sounds and the sounds that come after it. Let's go ahead and practice. Go ahead and say these words after me. Give me a thumbs up if they rhyme. If they do, we'll shout out the rhyme. If they don't, give me a thumbs down. Okay, ready? Say the words go, no. Nice. Do those words rhyme? Ding, ding, ding. They sure do. Oh would be the rhyme. Give me the words, or go ahead and say them for me. Run, fun. Do those words rhyme? Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Un would be the rhyme. Say the words out, pig. Yeah, do those words rhyme? They don't sound the same at the end of the word at all. Say the word lip, bag. Do those words rhyme? They sure don't. One more, friends. Say the word sad, mad. Do those words rhyme? Ding, ding, ding. They sure do. Add would be the rhyme. Nice job, friends. You did such a great job listening for those rhyming words in our song that we sang together and picking out those vowel sounds and the sounds that come after them to find rhyming word pairs. Wonderful job, friends. Kiss your brains. You did such a great job today. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Now we have some fun facts about our scorpion.
Yeah, scorpions are amazing creatures. A fun fact about scorpions is the larger the pincers, typically the weaker the venom. And that's because they use their pincers to capture their prey and crush them and eat them. They also have 8 legs, 2 pincers and 1 stinger. And on the end of each of these legs, they have little hooks, like for climbing and rappelling. As a matter of fact, they can usually hang upside down with those little hooks. Oh. Yeah. They are insectivores, meaning they search out and hunt down insects. They specifically love cockroaches. And that's because they live in the floor of rainforests underneath the leaf litter, and there's a lot of species of cockroaches in that particular environment. They do have 2 sets of eyes. They've got a primary set of eyes and a secondary set of eyes. However, they don't use vision very much to see as much as to hunt by movement. So they see their prey moving, so they snap at it. And like all scorpions, they will glow underneath a black light.
Ooh, glow in the dark scorpions.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for those fun facts.
Great day. It's Candace with Chaos, and I want to introduce you to my friend Christina. Here's Christina right here. Christina is absolutely cool. Christina loves to swim and hang out with her friends, and she's really good with doing math. She can do math problems in her head. Can you do math problems in your head? Christina also is a kid that she lives with her grandparents, and so sometimes she really misses her parents and her sisters because they stay out of town. And she doesn't really know how to express her emotions and talk about how she feels, so sometimes she turns things into anger. And I know we all do that sometimes when we don't really have words for our feelings, and so Christina is learning how to reset. Can you say reset? Reset stands for remember every situation encourages thought. And so Christina often has to reset because in many situations she feels like people are against her, and really people aren't really against her. And so she has to reset before she responds or reset before she reacts so that she doesn't make a decision and respond in a negative way when she doesn't need to. And so the next time you're in a situation and you think it's something bad, I need you to take a minute and reset before you respond. And sometimes when you reset, that means taking a deep breath. It may mean counting to 10. And so I want you to try the reset skill and tell a trusted adult how it works out, and then we'll talk about it. I look forward to seeing you soon. Air hugs and cyber kisses.
Did you have fun? I'll wait a second. Okay, all right. Did you have fun today? Yes, I did too. I had a fun day of learning. But guess what? It's about that time for us to get out of room 9. But before we do, let's spell our favorite word. And what is that? 9. Let's spell 9. N-I-N-E. 9. Thank you for being in room 9. Bye-bye.
Teaching in Room 9 is supported in part by Know who to reach out to when you need help. There is hope. Call or text 988.